Good morning and welcome to the fifth quarter AZ. My name is Danny Neal and I'm your co-host for the day and wishing everybody a bright, happy, sunny Friday morning. And of course, I can't go any further without introducing my co-host, my partner in crime, the man who told me don't spend all day introducing him just because he got like 900 accolades in 2023. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just say the man known all over northern Arizona, all over the state of Arizona, simply as the flag football coach, the basketball coach, and everything. My man, Mr. Tyrone Johnson.
You a fool, man. What's up, Coach? How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm just sitting up here hanging out and, just enjoying the morning. It was a little cool this morning, man. I had to put on a little cover up here because, I don't know, it's a little chill in there this morning.
Yeah, when I walked out this morning, I was like, you must be getting fall because I hadn't felt that little chill in a little bit.
Man.
So I was like,
But it did feel kind of good. You got to admit that. It really felt well, man. So, hey, just glad to be here on another Friday morning. Homecoming, man. It's the first time forever that I've known Flag High and Coconino to have their homecomings on the same week.
Yeah, and you think about it and you like, why? But it might be a good idea, you know what I mean? Because now you ain't got to worry so much. Everybody concentrating on their own homecoming activities and ain't nobody running over to the other school trying to pull no pranks or anything during the homecoming. And so maybe it's a good idea.
And I think opposite. I think it'd be even more little pranks and stuff because you got your homecoming fever and you got that adrenaline going and all that's happening. And just know that today, don't go to East Flag, don't go to North Flag because there's parades all over the place. The streets going to be closed off. So I would guess probably would usually be out there trying to keep everything in order. But yeah, man, it's just want to let my public message for today is tomorrow when we have all these dances, the homecoming, Flag High Coconino. Be smart, be safe, and have fun. So that's my public address message for this morning, man. So
well, I'm glad you got that out there, and hopefully these kids will listen, enjoy themselves, and be safe and have some fun. That's a great message, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Can I just go on and have breakfast now?
Nope.
Because I didn't cook it, you know that. But anyway, man, I got to get my notes here, man, because I do this homework. So I got to make sure that when I do this homework, things go great. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that it's homecoming weekend. Coconino will be playing Payson tonight. Payson's out of the 3A East with Coach Brian Burke. They're 2-1 on the season. So, and Coconino's 1-0. They've only played one game. So I know they're excited to put the pads back on and hit somebody else besides teammates again. So, they'll be doing it at Coconino against Payson tonight, 7 o'clock, Coconino High School. Flagstaff High School, they're 0-2 tonight after a tough loss to Somerset out of North Las Vegas last week. This was a powerhouse team, Coach. They was for real.
Hey. They was. And speaking of Somerset, my uncle is the assistant principal AD in charge of like athletics and all that type of stuff. It's his birthday today. So LJ want to go ahead and wish you out a happy birthday today. I ain't going to sing my song to you. You know what I mean? If you was Coach Janey, I'd sing my song, but I ain't going to sing my song. But happy birthday, LJ.
Hey, happy birthday, LJ. Hey, man, that's a good one. If I'd have known it when I seen him last Friday, I'd have bought him a Snickers or so. So, yeah, we got to send a shout out to him and the great team he had and the way they played, how hard they played. Great turnout from Vegas to come up to the Dome. So that was an exciting night. But tonight, Flagstaff has to play Winslow. And this is sort of a rivalry, you know what I mean? Winslow comes in with Coach Brandon Guzman, 2-1. They're out of the 3A North. They will be at the Dome tonight. And now I found out games start at 6 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. So if you're going to the game, homecoming game night, it's a 6 p.m. start instead of a 7 p.m. start. So make sure that, get there on time, celebrate all the city kids this weekend. And of course, we have to talk about flag football. We know the coach of that team. We know the coach is 3-0 now. We know that the coach has his team playing very well right now. They beat Marcus Deniz in the first game 19-6. Agua Fria, they beat the next game 47-8. Tempe 42-0. So they're rolling over people, but they got Mojave on September 10th, 3:30 Flagstaff High School. Coach, you know anything about this team?
I know as much about this team as I know about the other teams when we come up and face them. Nothing. So we just go out there and really we just trying to work and make sure that we do stuff a certain type of way, make sure that we can execute, make sure defensively they're locked in, they're committed to their assignments offensively. We've been really talking about committing to your routes, whether you're getting the ball or not, because you never know, because we got a lot of run pass options. And so just really, really committing and really doing things a certain way and doing it all the time and competing with each other in practice, being the best offense that our defense is going to see and being the best defense that our offense is going to see. So then when we come to the game, we just go out there and compete and have some fun and let the scoreboard take care of itself.
And that has been happening. That has been happening. I mean, kudos to you and your staff. First time flag football ever here in town. I said it last week and I'll say it again. You are the winningest flag football coach in the history of Flagstaff, Arizona. So we just proud of that. And you know
that is true, Coach.
Hey,
that happened with one win.
It did. And now you're 3-0, man. So everybody really chasing you now. Hey, man, but look, I ain't got time for your foolishness, man. We got to give you volleyball with Coach Scott Denny and Coconino. They're really out there. They're playing hard. They're on 3 right now, but they're really competing. They were at the Payson Longhorn Invitational last week. Don't have any scores on that. So if anybody has it, want to shoot it to us, let us please do. But they're at Cortez. They were at Cortez last night and have no report on that either. So just wishing them well. Beth Haglin at Flagstaff High School. They're 4-1 right now. And they'll be playing Lee Williams on the 12th. See how that goes. Their streak keep going. Coach Haglin's just had a history of great teams at Flag High School, and just keep wishing them luck, things going well. And then we can't forget about Coach Corey Murphy and her 2-1 MPA. What is their mascot at MPA?
Spartans, man. Come on, come on, homework doer. Spartans, let's go.
Hey, man, I was testing you. I knew what it was.
I'm quite sure you did.
So, and they play Glendale Prep today. So we want to wish them all, just good luck, and kids keep playing hard. Great things will happen, man. So there's a lot of things happening in Flagstaff. Don't have a lot of reports on the cross country, but I know they're doing big things also. So that's my spiel for the morning. What do you have? Is there anything you want to get out there? Anything you want to say? Giving you happy birthday shout out.
I mean, I'm just impressed, Coach. I'm impressed by your depth and your reporting out and, your coverage of all the sports. So, kudos to you. Good job. Keep it up, man. Don't have people writing in because you ain't announcing everybody. So you keep up the good job, man. And then while we talk about writing in, if you guys are watching live, go ahead and comment. If you like what he's doing, if you like these reports, go ahead and comment, subscribe, like, and let's keep it going.
That's right. And if I am missing someone, if Coach misses somebody, let us know, because we don't want to miss anybody. We want to get the word out about everybody. I know NAU is cranking up, and there's just a lot of things happening in Flagstaff. Obviously, you can tell by the traffic. So you can't go anywhere now, man. I mean, I can remember back in 1964, we didn't have traffic like this. So, yeah.
I think I remember that too.
You don't remember that, man. You weren't even born. So anyway, you know how every time I try to tell you about something happened in 72, and you tell me, man, I wasn't born yet. So I'm sorry about that, man. I was here. I was here, man. So before we bring the guest on, man, I mean, because this is a homeboy.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else you'd like to mention? Just in your daily go-abouts.
No, is there something I'm supposed to mention? You keep prompting me, man. I ain't got nothing to say.
Okay, I was just checking with you. You got so much stuff going on, man. I didn't know if there was something big in recreation happening. I mean, you're wearing like 12 different hats right now. So
nah, man. Nah. Right now it's all about the fifth quarter. I'm focused, man. I'm on the fifth quarter. That's all it's about right now.
well, if you focused on the fifth quarter, man, then I think it's time we just go and bring out our guest. This is somebody who, we both known for a long time. Hometown boy made good, and just really proud and happy to have this. I could say, young man on the show today. Okay, and with that, we'd like to bring on Flagstaff's own, Brennan Holmes' own, Charlie Hernandez. What's up, Charlie?
Morning. How you guys doing?
Hey, man,
Doing well.
we're doing good, man. We're doing good. So wait, I want to get something straight before we go any further. What's the age difference between you and Coach Johnson?
I was born in '75. I think.
Yeah, it's 2 years. He like around Corey's age. He my brother Corey's age. They were like came up and right there playing together. So I can call him young too.
Right. So he was around with Marcus and all. So you with all that group.
Yep.
Okay. Because I get it mixed up. I mean, I've seen all these kids grow up and do these great things, and then all y'all still look so young and everything. Till you got to get a beard, Charlie, so you get a little gray in it, like Coach Johnson.
No,
That's distinguished.
I keep it shaved up so no one can see the gray.
Well, Charlie, before we go any further, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Give us a little bio on you.
Well, like you said, I was born and raised in Southside Flagstaff. Came up through FUSD. I went to Kinsey Elementary, went to West Flag Junior High, I went to Flag High for 2 years, and then I transferred to Sinagua when it opened. And been playing sports since I was 5 years old. Started off at Coconino Little League, which was next. Well, it's on Clay Avenue. It was next to the Guadalupe facility that I did catechism at. So. Then been playing youth sports since I was 5. As far as football goes, I was always a quarterback coming up through the Cowboys, Falcons, and then transitioning to high school football. I think I played in youth football as long as I could. Then I aged out, I guess, to compete with the big boys. When I was younger in high school, I was probably about 150, 170. I graduated at 175. So it wasn't too big, but I could still throw the ball and I could run for my life when I had to. So, you guys posted on the Flag Coco intro for this show. That was me running from my cousin.
Right.
Son was at Flag High during the Flag High.
And he was trying to get you, huh?
He was. He was too slow though.
Yeah.
And then I came up and decided to serve the community again and became a police officer. And now I sit at the police department as a lieutenant, still serving the community wherever I can.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I know just coming up on the South Side, whether we were out there, playing touch football in the street, whether it was playing at the Dome after the games, or even when we were playing baseball, you were always athlete, you were always competitive. And then that baseball, man, you could hit that thing. You hit that thing, wow, right and left hand side. So coming up, what was your favorite sport coming up?
My favorite sport is baseball, by far the best sport ever. I just love baseball. It's just being around the team. I was a pitcher, but then I became a utility player, so I could play outfield. I'm not too much on catchers in baseball because I can't handle that gear and foul balls coming and hitting me wherever it's going to go. But pitching, I love pitching, and just playing outfield and just being around the people. When I grew up, my dad coached us throughout our whole lives, and he'd make our teammates his kids too, and I remember riding around from the Coconino Little League field in a small little orange Datsun truck. You can ask anyone on the south side. We would pack that thing in and go around to Dairy Queen, and whoever hit home runs got banana splits, So
That's right.
it's the best time I've ever had in my whole life, just being on the baseball field, and I continue to do it at the softball field. It's not as competitive locally, but I found myself getting on a team from Phoenix, and we travel around and are competitive. So I like that competitive nature. It's just in me in the sports. Football I was okay at and decent, but baseball is always my passion.
Yes. And being growing up on the South Side, as we all were, um, knew your family, and like you talk about, your cousin was chasing you in that picture, and I know the talent that's in your family. Who's the best athlete in your family?
Well,
Cousins, uncles, everybody.
yeah, I would probably say Daniel Casados, right? He was a receiver. He won some state championships, and
Hmm.
none of us can compare to that because we don't have any rings on our fingers for high school sports. But yeah, Daniel Casados, the effort he puts in, and then his lineage and his family,
Yes.
they're playing
Yes.
volleyball too. So I would say he's by far the most accomplished athlete. I would say today I'm probably a little bit better than him on the baseball field. But
You
yeah,
look, you bigger, you stronger, everything else. So I probably agree too.
And Daddy's running around the country with his kids now, watching them play ball. So.
yeah, it's awesome to see, and even his dad,
Right.
Danny Senior, he was coaching us even when I started playing softball locally, and we traveled.
Right.
Be the coach, so his knowledge of the game coming up and just his efforts that he puts in to make people better. Our family has always tried to make each other better. My cousin Mike Lozano played at San Diego State football,
Right.
so
Right.
we definitely have some competitive people in our family.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah. And when you were coming up, you said you started at Flag High and then Sinagua opened. What spurred the move for you to transfer and go over to Sinagua?
Well, it was kind of a twofold, because I saw the writing on the wall with the lineage or the depth charts, at Flag High. So, I mean, Art Gonzalez was there, and there was some
Right.
other more senior people there to me, and I probably wouldn't get an opportunity to start at any position as far as quarterback goes, or even pitcher, just because of the depth chart where I sat and my age and things like that. So there was an opportunity that presented itself. My family actually looked at moving into Smoke Rise so I can move into district so I wouldn't have to sit out a year. Back in the day, you had to get the principal to authorize you to go to a school so you didn't have to sit out.
Right.
And it's my family sacrificed, moved to Smoke Rise, and I transferred, and then I still sat on a depth chart that's how Coach Campos didn't really know who I was, right? And
Right.
what I had to do. So I'm this new guy, and I still remember this to the day. My first day of summer workouts, I wore my Flag High City Championship shirt, and that probably didn't set a tone for me to the depth chart, So yeah, but I think it was a good learning experience. I got to learn the system over there. I got to make new friends, and it was just a new experience for me. And I didn't get my chance at Sinaloa until probably that our quarterback got hurt. We went through the depth charts. Everyone was all playing different positions. And then I think maybe the Mingus game before the Coconino game that we won, is where I started to see my opportunities, and I took advantage of it as best I could. So I was very, very blessed.
Well, that's all right. And you had a successful season there. And just coming up, how has sports helped you in your work as a police officer now?
I think sports, just because you get thrown with strangers, makes you get out of your comfort zone. It makes you have to work together with someone and to accomplish objectives. And when you look at my profession now as a police officer, I can't do everything myself. You need to build relationships. You need to get out of your comfort zone. make that effort to go be purposeful in everything you do and just meet new people and build that trust, because
Right.
sports require trust, especially when you're the quarterback of a football team. You got to trust that your lineman's going to stop that 300-pound guy getting ready to eat you. So it founds your principles and what you value as a person too. You value honesty with people and communication. You want someone to tell you, hey man, I know you're not giving max effort. We need you. The team needs you. And that transitions to our profession as well. We got to inspire people. We have to trust people and we got to be good communicators. So sports encompasses all of that. And then friendship too. You need to enjoy what you do so it's not a job. And playing sports is fun. It's not about winning or losing. It's about the experience. You can't get time back. And when you spend seconds with people you love and people you fight in the trenches with, and there's no better feeling than that. So I think that's just the holistic approach that I take in my everyday life now. And it's all founded from when I was young and making these new friends. I remember going to Coach Johnson's house and sitting at his house on snow days or rainy days waiting for the bus. I didn't know him too well, but he welcomed me in, because he knew my cousins who lived right across the street. So it's like he welcomed me in, and it's just when you get that trust and you make those friendships, it's more than friendships, it's family, and family is what we talk about on the sport field, and family in my profession is what it's all about as well. So we take care of each other, and I think that's a good message for just life. Take care of each other.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, we can have y'all out there in that cold and all that type of stuff. And when the bus stopped right across the street from the grandma's house, you know how we do. Hey, we were talking to you mentioned Flag Coco when you first came on in this post. Now he does the whole Flag Coco rivalry, and then when Sinagua came in, what do you think that did to the rivalry? Did it water it down? Did it enhance it and make it more exciting? Because now you had 3 schools. What are your takes on the rivalry when Sinagua came in?
I think honestly, when I look at when I was in it, we wanted to have a rivalry with people too. We wanted to go out and say, hey, we want to be city champs. We want the competitiveness in the city to not be watered down. But unfortunately, when I look at it now, it did get watered down because it split the talent between both schools. The division of the districts split Flag High's talent and mixed it with Coconino's talent. And then here we got a hybrid of talent at Sinagua High School. And it kind of watered it down because now we have no home field for Sinagua. And then Flag High still played in the dome. Coco played in the dome, but then they had their own field too. So we were playing at Coco's field or in the dome. So we were kind of the step kid on the block of the rivalry. So it didn't foster it or make it any better, but I think it definitely did water it down because there's no, like now you see the rivalry. It's a rivalry because it starts at youth football, right? Because they have Eagles and Panthers youth football. So we didn't have that when we were younger. So I definitely think it watered it down.
Do you think, and this is my perception of it, was it watered the Flag High Coconino rivalry down, but enhanced the Flag High Sinagua rivalry, the Coconino rivalry, because there was that perception of that was the rich kid school, against the public schools. So it kind of put Flag High and Coconino against, that was the rivalry, Sinagua.
I could see that too, because I definitely did hear that we were the rich school, we were right there on Butler and Fox Glen. And growing up, that was the affluent area in Flagstaff,
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we got that mantra, and I think I think it made us look in sports. They kind of looked down on us because we were the rich kids who couldn't play, right?
That wasn't true.
That's probably the perception, just because meat eaters at Flag High and Coconino. They're in the trenches. They're dogs. They're working hard. And then here we are. We got these awesome facilities at Sinagua, and everything's brand new. Nothing's touched. The weight rooms tremendously brand new and just big and all that. So I could see that perception, and I could see that the rivalry, we were getting ganged up on by Flag High and Coconino, but I think we held our own. My
Definitely did.
Caesar Polk ran all over us, put up 53 points on us. So, I mean, that left a sour taste in the mouth on the senior year. But yeah, it was fun. It was just fun competing with those guys.
And you and Caesar battled for a while, huh?
Dude, since youth football, Nichols, and it's like I grew up with them guys, and they went to Flag High, and we always, because we like to talk in the South Side, and whoever comes out on top, that you're going to hear from.
You're gonna hear about it.
Oh yeah.
You probably still hear about those games.
Oh man. I see Caesar every now and then, and I see all the new articles that are coming out on him, and I'm like, man, that dude, he was an athlete. He was a good representative of who we were collectively from the neighborhood, So it's not, you don't just you don't represent yourself, you represent where you're from, and
right.
You carry a lot of weight for the neighborhood and your friends and your people. Right. When you're in sports. And I think a lot of people don't appreciate that weight, because you got a lot to prove when you're from South Side or any other neighborhood in town, so just how it is.
Now, do you think some of that pressure then dictates the life path that people take? Because, coming from the South Side, a lot of times it was like, hey, sports a bust, but you did sports and you've been very successful in your professional career and everything. So do you think that pressure kind of leads people to whatever path in life?
Well, I don't think it's so much as a pressure as the influence in people's lives. When we have positive role models and just people that can mentor us and take time to spend on us, growing up in a dual income family where both parents are working, you're just at home after school by yourself with nothing else to do. You look to those coaches. Like my dad would get off work at 3:30, come and go to practice at 5. We get done at 8, and he'd be spending time with all these other kids and hopefully trying to influence people. We'd have kids over at our house for dinner. I remember Darnell Potee used to come over. And we had this little dachshund that was called, the name was Cujo. And Darnell used to say, let that dog run after me. And he'd take out the biggest key, because, and opportunity, right? Because there's not too much opportunity out there for youth right now, especially with them trying to find jobs, because people don't want to pay greater than the minimum wage, So I don't know. It's just, influence would probably be, and opportunity would probably be the two biggest things, greater than the pressure or the weight to represent where you're from.
Yeah. And just in your job now, have you seen, or is there anything near the neighborhood that Brennan Homes was in our community now? I think Sunnyside would be the closest, and they're the true neighborhood now. Has always been. I don't think Brennan Homes is now because it's been infiltrated by by NAU. So do you see any real neighborhoods to compare with the Brennan Homes that you grew up in? And Flagstaff now.
Yeah, I think you're right on with Sunnyside being the closest to how I grew up, because there's still kind of a familial network in Sunnyside. In Southside, neighbors don't look like they care about their neighbors. They care about themselves, and it's unfortunate, because when we grew up, you would walk next door and the person's door would be open and you just go walk in and say, hey, you got some milk or some sugar? That's just how it was.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
Just walk in, and everyone knew everyone on their block. And now it just seems like Sunnyside is more close and they look out for each other. And I appreciate that, you know, because like I said, in my profession, I can't do everything myself. So we need other people looking out for each other too. But yeah, I think the NAU infiltration of the South Side kind of created a disconnect because now it's younger students who are transient in nature, may not be committed to the neighborhood. They're just going to be there for 4 years and then they're out wherever they're going to go. So I think that disconnect is probably what we need to try and work and foster and get back and have those students, if they're living in the neighborhood, become a part of the neighborhood, you know, get out and meet the elderly people who have been generationally there in the neighborhood. And I work with the Southside Neighborhood Association with Deb Harris, and we invite the students there to the meetings all the time and try and build that relationship and foster that commitment to caring about the neighborhood. So I agree with you, though, that Sunnyside is a close second to Brandon Homes. I grew up.
Hey, I know we have a motivational question coming up here, but this will be my last question for you, and then Coach has obviously has something else to ask you too. This is my tough question for you. Who's the greatest athlete ever came out of Brandon Homes?
Ever out of Brandon Homes? Well, he's still there. I think David Winsley. That dude,
Good answer. Good answer.
the beast. Every time I see him, I'm like, how is he still so big? You know, he was a monster when he was in school, then he went to college, blew up, and he's still a monster, you know. But you know, he's still founded in who he is, and he is still humble. You know, as many accolades as he gets, as much success as he had as an athlete, he still will invite you in and sit down and talk with you, you know. So yeah, David Winsley is by far, I think, one of the people I looked up to, aside from the quarterback, Coach Johnson. But yeah, David Winsley was very impressive as an athlete, for sure.
Hey. Yeah, no, he definitely was. And, you know, when we were all coming out, everybody wanted to try and get out there and do moves and be like David. One, none of us was near as fast, was near as strong. And then actually one of my college recruiting trips, I went down to ASU and he was like my host. And so, you know, that was the dream, just to emulate and kind of be like David. And then, look, I got hurt and I was like, I'm good enough in basketball to go to college. So I switched sports.
Okay, well, Coach, we do this little thing here, Charlie, Lieutenant Hernandez, where we ask you to impart a little knowledge on us, and we do that through what we call Coach Johnson's Golden Nugget Question of the Week. Anyway, Coach.
All right, so coming up here in Flagstaff, being an athlete now, being successful, just really, what advice would you give to the kids here coming up in Flagstaff now, as far as who's participating in sports or whether it's academia or whatever? What's the best advice you can give these kids coming up right now so that they can, you know, ultimately be successful, such as yourself?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think finding someone to mentor you and finding a good positive influence to be there and listen to you and pick you up when you fall and fail is by far probably one of the most important things. I think we tend to gravitate toward things that emulate us or are similar to us or familiar, but maybe step out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself to find someone who's going to hold you accountable, because we're not the best people at holding ourselves accountable when we become mediocre at things we do. So find a mentor who's going to hold you accountable and guide you and teach you and mentor you. That's probably the best advice I can give to set yourself up for success, because they're not going to come to you. They're not going to be looking out to say, hey, how can I help you? You got to go find that person that you can build trust with and be accountable to, because then that'll set a foundation for yourself to hold yourself accountable. You know, when you're in the weight room, have that partner who's going to push you to do that extra set that you think, oh, I did 4 sets today, I'm good. You know, no, push it, someone to push you. Even in, so I started a program with Mark Cox at Boys and Girls Club, and it's called Badges for Baseball. We play baseball with the kids, wiffle ball, baseball on the baseball fields. And I think just go out and be a mentor yourself for those kids. You know, I see myself so much in these kids because I was at Cogdale playing ball, wiffle ball, basketball, and whatever. But I would say when you have time, invest time in the youth of today as an adult, because one day those investments are going to pay off when those kids become the mentors or the people guiding and moving the youth forward to what we want to see as a society. And I think seizing opportunities is what you need to look at. You need to, don't say, hey, I might not fit this profile, or I might not be what they're looking for, but go out and get what you want. You know, I go back to the Rocky Balboa scenes where he's saying life's going to hit you hard. You got to get up. Everyone's going to get knocked down. You know, you got to keep getting up, keep moving, keep pressing, go out and get what you want, because you're not going to be given anything. And I know, we all know, we grew up in Southside. We know that you got to work for everything you get. You got to, you earn it. You're an earner, you know. And like I said, I went to Sinagua High School. I wasn't rich, but I earned everything I got, you know.
That's right.
And staying humble, remembering who you are, where you came from, is probably one of the biggest things, because we tend to get, when we are successful, we tend to get arrogant, or we tend to look down on people. And I think remembering who we are and staying true to who we are is probably the best piece of advice I can give, because we always need to pull people up with us when we are finding success. We can't leave people behind. Pull them up.
Yeah. Nah, absolutely. Well said. Well said. Definitely appreciate your time this morning, Lieutenant. And, you know, just look forward to seeing you in the community, maybe get you on another interview panel coming up. But just proud of you and the success that you've had and how you represent us in this community, man. Definitely appreciate you this morning.
Yeah, and I thank you guys for the time. I thank you guys for the invite. It's good to see your guys' faces and interact with this. We don't get too much time to chop it up like we used to, but we find time. It's always good to see you guys' face, your smiles, and just it's like, it feels like home, right? It just
Yep.
Right.
You know?
And I just want to say, you know, that you were talking about stepping out your comfort zone, doing things like that. Me coming up in Flagstaff, I didn't see a lot of minorities in big positions. And now I look at the Coach Johnson. He's over recreation now. Kids see that they can do that. I see somebody like you who stepped out your comfort zone not once but twice, in going from the South Side to Sinagua, going from the South Side to be a police officer, who we all know on the South Side is kind of like taboo. But you made it real. And so I always tell Coach Johnson I'm proud of him, even though he get on my nerves so much. But for both of y'all, to up young people to see, hey, it's possible. I can do this. I can make it happen. You guys are letting kids see what's possible that I didn't see. So I'm proud of you guys. Thank you guys. And just keep doing what you're doing, man. Flagstaff is a better place because y'all decided to stay here.
Well, and I'd say too, Mr. Neal, it's because of you, you know, all the effort you put in at the rec center, all the time you spend with us, coaching us up and mentoring us, and just being a role model for us in the community too. Hey man, you got to hand the torch off sometime, right? And I think,
well, you got it, brother. Both of you, and you're running with it. You guys are doing excellent. I can sit back in my chair.
Sure, you earned it.
I ain't gonna let him sit back in that chair. You know I'm gonna have him running around with me everywhere we go, so he's still gonna be doing stuff.
Hey, Charlie, thank you, man. Once again, I seriously mean it when I say we're just so proud of you, man. We got to get together and do some things together with the Rec Center and Police, like bring back midnight basketball and some things like that. We'll
Yep.
talk to you about that, and just tell all your family. I said hello.
I will. And they'll be
We said hello.
Yes. Yes. But,
Sounds
yeah.
good.
So, all right. Hey, Charlie, thank you very much, man. Keep doing what you're doing. If you ever need the information brought on this show, need something that you're doing, you want to get out there, hey, we're here for you, partner.
All right. Well, I'll throw out a plug right now. So, Boys and Girls Club are going to be having a youth baseball clinic. We're trying to find a location on Wednesday, September 20th from 4:30 to 6:30. They can find information on the Boys and Girls Club page or at the location, Cogdale. I used to always call it Cogdale. But it's a free event. Cal Ripken Junior Foundation's coming out from Baltimore, and they're going to put on a sports clinic for the kids in the community. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be on the Wednesday, the 20th.
Right. I like that. I like that. All right. Well, we appreciate that. We'll keep putting it out there for people to hear about. And man, you just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Coach.
Hey.
All right, good seeing you.
Good to-
All right, Coach. That was another good show. Another good show with family again, man.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody on the show, we coached them, we played with them, we grew up with them. Or in my case, with their grandparents. But anyway, man, it's just been a good show. I know you got work to do. Well, I don't know. You got on your golf stuff today. You golfing?
No, man, I ain't golfing. I'm working, man. I work. So I ain't retired like you. I'm working. But no, it was good, man. You get Charlie, you get like you say, Southside, you get family, the whole Hernandez family, Casado family. I mean, hey, we was all right there, just around the block from each other and everything. And so it's special when we can get up and, like you say, just kind of chop it up and catch up and, talk about how I used to be and talk about what's going on now. So that was real cool.
That's right. We got like Pudgy Hernandez, his uncle who works for us. And we all just intertwined in that together, man. So it's good.
Yeah.
So because I'm gonna let you get on, man.
All right, man. Yeah, I got to work. I know you got to just retire and chill. So, but look here, we appreciate y'all joining us. Again, if you like what we're doing, smash that like button, subscribe to what we're doing. Other than that, I don't know what else you got to do this day, but I do know one thing: you ain't got to go home.
But you gotta leave here. Peace.